Let's begin here. Today we're going to continue. We were doing the book of Jummah, Friday, part 2, and already we did 4 hadith, and we'll continue from here. Narrated I said to Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, the people are narrating that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam take bath on Friday and wash your head. Take a thorough bath even though you were not janaba, use perfume. So here the elaboration of previously what we did last time, that continues. The last time we learned that that was the hadith about narrated by Salman al-Farsi. In that we learned that taking bath on Friday and purifying oneself. So here it elaborates that even though you are not in janaba, not in the impurity, then still you are taking bath in that way. Taking thorough bath even though you were not janaba and use perfume. On that Ibn Abbas replied, I know about that bath. It is essential, but I do not know about the perfume, whether it is essential or not. So here Ibn Abbas, he give more emphasis on this and said, I know about this, like, about taking the, on that, I know that the bath, it is essential, but I'm not sure about the perfume, because if you see olden days, like at the time of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, everybody don't have perfume, don't think like how these days are, depending on that. So let's move to the another hadith, to wear the best available clothes for Jummah prayer. So here, yalbas ahsana ma yajid, whatever the best you have, you are wearing that. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu anhuma. When two Sahabas are there, then it will be anhuma. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhum saw a silken cloak being sold at the gate of the mosque. Silken cloak was sold at the gate of the mosque, and said to Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I wish you, Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I wish you would buy this to wear on Friday and also on occasions of the arrivals of the delegation. Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, this will be worn by a person who will have no share reward in the hereafter. What he replied? One who will wear this will have no share in the hereafter. Later on, similar cloaks were given to Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he gave one of them to Umar bin al-Khattab. On that, Umar said, O Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have given me this cloak. Although on the cloak of Utarid, the cloak merchant who were selling that silken cloak at the gate of the mosque, you pass such and such remark. He reminded what he said. Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, I have not given you this to wear. And so Umar ibn al-Khattab give it to the pagan brother. So what you understand from this? First of all, like somebody was selling the cloak which was made of silken, and Umar said to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I wish to have that, like you can wear. And later on, Umar came to know that he had it, who Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but he didn't wore it, he didn't use for himself, but he gave to Umar. So Umar said, oh, I remember that at a certain time at the mosque, somebody was selling that cloak made of silk, and you said that there is no share in the hereafter, and how come I can use it? So that time Rasulullah said, I am not giving it to you. So he passed it to the pagan brother, means the person who is not a Muslim. Next we'll move to clean the teeth with the siwak on Friday. Especially here we are talking about Friday. This is the whole chapter we are covering about the Friday. Narrated Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if I had not found it hard for my followers or the people, I would have ordered them to clean their teeth with siwak for every salat, every prayer. So as I mentioned in the previously also, when we were doing the part 1, that time also I told you about miswak. He emphasized so much, who Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So here he said, I want my followers, that it's my order to clean their teeth with siwak for every salah. And that's what Sahaba used to do. And I still remember, like, previous generation people, their teeth used to be very white, very strong. Even in the old age, they used to chew the bone also. But these days they have so much dental problems and they visit so much to dentist, and they have so much bad breath, and not only bad breath, so much cavities there. So try it. Believe me, whatever Sunnah says, inshallah, if you implement it, you're gonna get the benefits. You could see. And these days, not only Muslim, non-Muslims, they do sunnah things. Like, they sit and drink water, a glass of water in 3 sips, and scientifically now they prove. But this is the thing our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught us. So when talking about miswak, siwak, use it. Keep it in the bathroom and try to remember, oh, that's the, sunnah. Like every salah, just try to, make it smooth and keep in the, washroom whenever you want. Like, you remind yourself, okay, when you go for the wudu, just use it, just for, you know uh, in the starting it will take time to get habitual, then you get used to it. In Ramadan time we are very particular. That time we use more of miswak, isn't it? Because we don't want anything, we don't want the one which has paste, which has taste, so we avoid that. So we use more of miswak, isn't it, siwak? So why don't, in the ordinary days too, we should try that, inshallah. And the next, here, hadith narrated Anas radiallahu anha, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I have told you repeatedly to use the siwak. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam put emphasis on the use of siwak. This I already mentioned, like, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasis to use the siwak so many times. So here, next hadith, we see what should be recited from the Quran in the Fajr, early morning prayer on Friday. Narrated Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to recite the following in Fajr early morning prayer on Friday: Alif Lam Mim Tanzilul, Suratul As-Sajda, and Hal Ata Al Insani, Suratul Dahr. And some call it Suratul Insan, some call it Suratul Dahr. And first Suratul Sajda is Surah number 32, and Suratul Dahr here, Surah number 76. So these two he used to recite. So I'll repeat once again what should be recited from the Quran in the Fajr prayer. You know what Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to recite on Friday in the Fajr prayer. What is this? In the Friday Fajr prayer, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to recite Suratul Sajda, that is Surah number 32, and Suratul Al-Insan, that is also called Suratul Dahr, Surah number 76. So we have covered this hadith about taking the shower compulsory and how it has to be, and also we have seen the importance of the miswak. Let's move to the next hadith. To offer the Jummah prayer and khutbah in the villages and towns. It's not only in the city, but what about the suburbs, in the villages, how they will do it. Narrated Ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma heard Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, all of you are guardians and responsible for your words, and the ruler is the guardian of his subjects and is responsible for them, and a man is the guardian of his family. Like, the man is the head of the family, he is the guardian of the family, and that is also mentioned in the Surah Nisa, and is the responsible for them. A woman is the guardian of her husband. Woman is the guardian of her husband's house and is responsible for it. When husband is not there, woman has to take care of the house and also everything in the house. A servant is the guardian of his master's belonging and is responsible for them. I thought that he also said a man is the guardian of his father's property and is responsible for it. all of you are guardians and responsible for your words and things under your care. So here we learn that, things under your care, the Imam, the ruler is the guardian of his subjects and is responsible for them. And a man is the who is guardian under whom which category falls. Like how the Imam is the guardian of his subject and responsible for them. And then later men is guardian for the family. And then later for the family, woman is the guardian for the household things. That's what it's mentioned here. And here in next hadith, is taking of bath on Friday compulsory even for those on whom it's not compulsory to present for Jummah prayer? Example, women and girls, etc. As I mentioned before, like previous week when we talk about part 1, in that I mentioned like somebody is in period or they are not in a purity. Narrated Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, we are the last to come amongst the nations, but will be the foremost in the day of resurrection, and repeated in the hadith. We already did that last week. He added here at the end, it is obligatory for every Muslim that he should take a bath once in 7 days, when he should wash his head and the body. So here clearly mentioned when you are taking shower, and when you see taking bath at least once in 7 days. Why 7 days? Because just imagine at that time, especially in Arab culture, if you see, water is a big thing. You don't have running water like us. They used to get water from distant place, and water was not so much free, like they don't have running water always. And also we learn from this that they have to take head shower. It's not just washing your body. And also we learn even the person who is in period or is in impurity should also take the shower, because still you gain the reward even though you are not going for Jummah prayer. Like women, what about them? Like they are busy or they are not able to go. Are they supposed to take the shower still? Yes, they have to take the shower still. Even though they are not going for the Friday prayer, they still have to. What about the babies? It is mustahab, it's liked. Give importance to Friday. Why not? That is the day. It's like a Eid, getting together, having a Friday sermon, and that day we have to give the importance to Friday, isn't it? Jazakallah khairan kasira.